Welcome back to the channel and our CRX rescue build, guys. We're gonna keep doing the body work and working our way around the car and see how far we get. Okay, I'm going to move on to this driver's side underneath the gas cap here. There's a dent, like a door ding, so I'm going to sand it down and get it filled in. I'm going to sand this area here down with 120 grit to get through this paint and make it rough so the body filler will stick to it. I'm seeing a few marks right here from some poor body work maybe, or some breakdown underneath the paint. So I'm gonna open up this gas lid. I might pull the gas lid or the cover off. That way I can get this all sanded up a little bit better. So what it looks like happened here is the seam sealer in this gas area broke down and allowed water to get in here. So there's a little bit of surface rust. It hasn't penetrated, so I should be able to sand all this off and reseal this with some seam sealer and be good to go. But I'm gonna go ahead and sand from here down, because it looks like there's some areas where the rust may have populated underneath the paint here. So I'm gonna take it down with 120. You can see what I'm talking about right here, the dark lines that are in the metal. It's actually a little bit of surface rust that was in between the metal and the paint. So it didn't actually eat through the metal, but it does have some rust on the surface that I've got to get rid of. You can see the metal is really shiny here and there's no sign of rust on this anymore. So we're good on this. I'm going to work my way inside here and get rid of all this rust that's visible. I'm going to move back down to this dent. I'm going to clean it off with alcohol, and then I'm going to put a small layer of filler on here to get this dent out. All right, moving back to the front fender since this body filler is hard now. I got the shape of it, but I'm gonna move up to 320 to start smoothing it out a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna move up here to the arch. I'm gonna start with 320 because I'm gonna take this one slow. What I'm trying to do here is keep the block flat against this flat lip. That way I can get it shaped properly. So now I'm moving away from the repair area and trying to sand out the 120 grit scratches. Alright, it's okay if it's not perfect because after we prime it, we're going to put some guide coat on here and we're going to block it out again, and that will show us any high or low spots that we need to continue the repair. Okay, moving back up to 150 on this one. Alright, I'm going to stop sanding with 150 here because if you look closely, now I've hit the metal here, but I have not sanded any of that area down there, and that means it's a low spot. So I'm gonna have to add another layer here and then keep blocking it flat. And then we can go back afterwards and clean this line up. Alright, I'm going to move up to 320 here because I think I've got enough. I'm going to try to shape it up. Well, I thought I had enough, but it looks like it may be still a little bit low. Let's see if I can get it this last time. Put a piece of tape here on this side skirt to keep from digging into it when I sand this edge. Moving on around the car now. I'm on the passenger side rear quarter. There's some paint chipping off and some surface rust here on the lower section here. There's a little texture in the paint up here as well. So I'm going to take the paint off and get all this rust cleaned up as best I can. Instead of using a wire wheel here on the body, I'm going to use 80 grit. I'm going to go with 80 grit here because I think I really need to cut it down pretty deep and it may require some metal repair. So I want to get it down and see what this is all about here. See a little bit of rust. What I am seeing is a little bit of body filler where they did a repair in the past. So the rust is underneath that body filler. It doesn't look bad at all. So I'm gonna take this down and I'll probably do the same type of repair underneath here. It's time to bust out the Dremel again. I'm gonna knock some of this down a little faster. All right, now that I've gotten all this rust removed, I've got some pretty big divots here and I got a hole, and these seams where the seam sealer has failed, they all need to be sealed back up. So what I'm gonna do here, since I'm not gonna be doing any welding on this, and I don't want this to come back, and I don't wanna have to fill this hole in with body filler because it will fail eventually. I've found that 3M panel bond will do a really good job of holding all this together and sealing that hole up, and it will not fail like body filler would. It flexes with the metal, and the body filler, it will eventually crack out of there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some alcohol and I'm gonna clean this entire area up and all these seams, and I'm gonna use this panel bond and I'm gonna fill this in and prevent this rust from spreading any further. The key to using the panel bond is to make sure that you have removed all the rust, because when you leave rust, no matter what you cover it with or paint over it with, it will come back. So you definitely want to make sure you get all of that ground down. Here's the product I'm using. It's a 3M panel bonding adhesive 08115. I'll link it down in the description below. You normally would use this dispenser nozzle here, and it mixes it as it goes through. But this is the last one of these I've got, so I'm gonna hang on to that, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread it out on here, and I'm gonna just mix it by hand. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, use this panel bond as the seam sealer to replace the old worn seam sealer. The good thing about this stuff is it can actually be sanded down. Seam sealer really can't be sanded down because it's more of a rubberized product. This hardens a little bit better. Hardens like more like a hard plastic or a body filler almost. So I'll be able to go back after and sand all this and make it look a lot nicer. My next point of interest is here on the passenger side front fender. It's similar to the driver's side, just not as bad. I've got a little bit of rust forming underneath this chip, so I need to get it all sanded down. I'm gonna sand it with 120. Since that was a really small spot, I'm gonna go ahead and step it up to 320 and get this sanded in a little bit further outside to get it ready for primer. Well, I'm now done with most of the major body work. It really wasn't bad at all. There were a few little dings. The big spot was the rust on the passenger side, but we used some epoxy to get it sealed up. I'm still waiting on the epoxy to set up before I can sand it down. So I'm gonna move on to the removing the door handles. That both exterior door handles have to come out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those out, and that's gonna require me pulling both interior door panels. Removing the door panel is pretty simple. It just takes a Phillips screwdriver and maybe a pry tool. So the door handle is a little bit tricky. The easy part are the 10 millimeters on each side. The hard part is going to be removing this lever here. It pops out of this little plastic clip, but you got to be careful not to break it. Well, I had to move the camera out of the way, but what I ended up doing was pulling this little C-clip off of this. I had to be really careful not to drop it in the door panel because I've done that before. But now that I've got that off, instead of removing the rod from the plastic, I can actually just slide this plastic right off of the handle itself. It's still attached to the opening rod. So what I've got to do here is basically unthread the rod from the door handle itself. And I'm going to do that by spinning it on the rod. You just gotta be careful not to scratch up your door. Alright, on this one I actually unclipped the lock cylinder and slid it out. That ended up being a little bit easier. Instead of unthreading this from the opening rod, which is kind of difficult to do without hitting the door, you really can't do it easily without scratching the door up a little bit. You're supposed to be able to pop this out. It's kind of difficult, but I'm going to try to see if I can pop that out and slide that out. Okay, scratch that. I'm gonna unthread it, and then when we put it back on, I'm just gonna pop it in. Alright, now that I have this on the workbench, it might be a little bit easier to get this pin out. It's been taken out before in the past, I can tell because it's all chewed up a little bit from where someone has done the same thing I'm trying to do here. Pry this thing out. It is not easy. Maybe I'm doing it the wrong way, I don't know. Well, it took a bit of persuasion, but we finally got it out. Well, we had another solid day of progress today. I got quite a bit of the bodywork taken care of, and hopefully in the next video I'll be laying down some primer. So once we get the primer laid down, I'll be able to sand it down and get it blocked out, get everything flat, and then we'll be moving on to 600 grit on the entire car. And then once that's done, the base coat will be ready to lay down. So stay tuned on the next episode and we'll keep making progress.